This is a quick video on how to pan around more easily in a 3D view. So to get to a 3D view, it's up here at the top under View and 3D View, or you can go to your Quick Access toolbar, and it's also here. So if you click 3D View, it'll automatically bring up your 3D view. If you don't have a 3D view created, it will create a 3D view under your project browser, under 3D views, and it will automatically add this 3D in brackets. That'll be your default 3D view. So for instance, if I were to rename this to test, click 3D, it will create another 3D view. So if it's already created, it will just open this 3D view, but if there isn't one created, it'll add this 3D view, and that'll be on the project browser under 3D views. In the other videos you can probably see me panning around, and what I'm doing is I'm holding the middle scroll wheel, clicking it down, and I can pan, move it around. I can use the scroll wheel to zoom in and out, which that works in both plan views and 3D views. To click the middle mouse button to pan, and to roll the wheel, you'll zoom in and out. So to quickly change views, you can either hit the tabs up at the top, or hit Control and the Tab key. Just cycle through all your views. Another way to go through all your views is up here at the top on the far right on the tab line. You can click this down arrow and it will show you all the open views that you have, and you would just have to click on them to enter into that view. We've also discussed how to switch windows under the View tab. Switch windows will also give you the same thing, a little bit longer description of what your view is. Close in active views will close all the views except for the ones that you have open. So if you click that, it'll close all of your views. Let's open up a couple other views on our browser, our project browser, just so we can see them again. And then tab views and tile views are other view controls that you have. Tile views will tile all of your views into different equal viewports here. So since there was 3, it did 2 on the left that are equal, and then a larger one on the right. You can also use the middle mouse click button that's on your rolling scroll wheel to close views too, without having to hit the X. So if you just hover over the tab and press down on the middle mouse click, then it'll close that tab. So in your 3D view, we can pan, and we can use the scroll wheel to zoom in and out. We can also if we hold shift down and then use our middle mouse wheel, it will pan around the 3D pan around your project. So that's holding shift down. You can see that the cursor changes. The other way to shift is also to add it, or shift also removes a selection. So if you have while selected, if you hold shift down, you can see how it shows the white arrow with a negative. That means if you click while holding shift down, it will remove any objects from your selection set. And to add, you would hold control down, and see the little white plus. If you hold control down, you can then add other entities into your model, into your selection set, I'm sorry. So shift to pan, to orient it to where you want, and then you can zoom in. You can also do that by clicking and dragging on the 3D cube that's up here on the top right corner, you can rotate your view by clicking this outside ring. So if you were to hold shift and click the middle mouse button, you could just free pan, and if you got it into a position but just wanted to rotate it, you could grab this wheel. Also, if you click on any of these letters, the northeast, southwest, it will give you your elevation views for the associated direction that you click. So if you click south with the S, it will give you that view. Also on the view cube, here you can click these arrows to change what the view is, and those are all in relation to the view cube. So as you can see, if I'm on the bottom view, I click this arrow, it will give me the back view. And so if you hold shift and middle mouse click, you can see all the different views. And if you click onto these views too, it will give you the different views. If you click this home button at the top, it'll give you the default view, which is a view looking down from the top right and front corner. Also, if you click on the corners or on the sides, it will also give you the views here. As you can see, as I click around, just hover over where I want it to go, and it will rotate the view accordingly. You also have this little down arrow so that you can also go to your home view, which would be similar to pressing this home button. Save the view. It allows you to save this view as a 3D view, so I'll do that again. Hold this, or click this button down here, go to save view, and it'll save your view as a 3D view, and hit OK. And as you can see, it added that 3D ortho one. There's also perspective and orthographic view types here. So orthographic is a true view. You're looking down, and it's not changing the appearance of your walls. Whereas a perspective view, it gives you a more, I guess, realistic, like a bird's eye type of a view, so that it will show the building kind of, fading away, as though that there's a what is it called, a vanishing point, and it will angle your walls away to give you a nicer looking a perspective view. The perspective views are usually used for your renderings and kind of your art type of views. So you can see the difference between orthographic. It gives you just a more flat view. That's just, if you've learned in your drawing classes, orthographic is all of the walls are shown at their actual length, whereas a perspective view gives you a more of a exaggerated, stretched view. Typically, you work in your orthographic views. That's clicking this little down arrow. So you can set this view as your home view. So if I were to click this, it would set this view as the home. And then here's another way to do it. You can set your east, north, southwest views here. So you can set your front view to change it to a different view. And you can reset the front view with this option. This compass, show compass, if we undo that, you don't have the northeast, southwest options there. So we'll show the compass so we can get an idea of where we're facing. Orient to view will orient your 3D view to one of your plan views. So here, if I were to select my level 1 floor plan, it's going to orient my 3D view to be the same as my plan view. Now it's still 3D view. Hold shift and middle click to pan around, but it's just going to show your view based on one of your plan views or an elevation view. or one of your section views. So let's do section 1. Bless me. And it now cropped your 3D view to be the same extent as your section view. So now it's created a section view with your 3D view, so it'll match. Excuse me. It'll match your 3D view with your section. So if I were to open my section 1, tile views, let's close this other view. We'll hit tile views again. It will match the view of the section. So we'll go back here to orient to section 1, and it will change our 3D view to match the section 1. And the nice thing is it actually crops the view with the section box. In the 3D view, you have this section box, and that shows up in your properties palette. You can turn on the section box on your properties palette when you have nothing selected in the 3D view, and you can see that there's a section box. So you could turn that off and on, and it will turn this off and on. Now, to change it back to the other plan view, we can orient a view, level 1 floor plan, and you can see it readjusted everything so that our section box is now over the entire extent and has matched the floor plan view. And as you can see here, it actually gives you an idea of where the plan view cuts. So if in your view graphics, it will adjust this, whatever you have your view range set, it will adjust this section box to match that. So as you can see, it's kind of moved down so that we have the similar view that we have on the 3D view, or on the plan view, sorry. So if we orient to our other views, we can orient this back to our 3D view, and it removes the section box. As you can see over here on the properties palette, the section box was turned off, and here we can turn it back on and off if we want. So some of the other options in here are orient to a direction, which are basically is clicking the corners of the box. Orient to a plane. In another view, we oriented we drew a reference plane. So if we had a plane, we could set it to level 1, level 2, or any of the reference planes we created. Sorry, I hit escape to exit those windows without hitting OK. But so here we go again, orient to plane, and then choose a reference plane. Or you can pick a plane. So if you wanted to orient this view by picking a wall, you could do that by hitting pick and hit OK. And I'll hit cancel or escape to exit out of this. And so that's most of the views. If you hit options, it'll open up your options, and it'll take you directly to your view cube options, and then you can adjust any of these options to your liking. The location, when it shows up, right now it's in all the 3D views, or you could change it to the active view only, so that whatever view you're in, you'll see this. Here's an automatic view cube size, so that the program will automatically choose the size, or you can choose it to be tiny, small, medium, or large. And the inactive opacity, so that when you're not on that view cube, it will show 50% transparent. And then some other options here that you could mess around with, but the default options are usually okay. Here it is, another option for fit to view on change, animated transitions, which will show the model actually moving around and then keeping the scene upright, and show the compass, which we also were able to turn off with that other that down arrow. And so here on on your next to your view cube down on the right, you have more options. You can choose to have the navigation wheel, which is this view cube, mini full navigation wheel, which basically allows you to pick. You can see the different options as I move my mouse around that it's going through. So let's go back to the top. We'll do full navigation wheel. It'll bring up this little, I don't know what you would call this. It's just the object wheel, I guess, is what it's called. So it'll bring you up this little option wheel so that you can click on the different, see when I click, left click, I can zoom in, which is the same thing if you use the scroll wheel. I can orbit by clicking orbit, which without having to middle mouse click and hit shift, I can orbit. I can pan by just clicking the little pan on this wheel. Rewind basically allows me to, if I click and hold, I can rewind to all the different views I was clicking through. So I can go back to a view that I was at previous. And then the other options here are you can kind of tilt your screen. You see how it gives you the little, you drag and it can move your screen up and down with that little tilt wheel. Look, kind of holds the center and allows you to look around by moving your mouse. Pivot allows you to place the pivot point, and it will go to that and center on that point. So if we go look, and let's see, center tool, so we'll make the center here, the center of the house there. It's almost the center of the house, and it will move over there. And walk. Oh, see here it's saying the walk tool requires perspective projection. So we can go back up here to, to this down arrow. Change our view to perspective. And then get our scroll wheel back, go to walk. And if we hold, we can, let's say we click and hold, and then we can move around and pan around as though we were walking. Here it says press the up and down arrow keys to speed up. And to adjust the height, and then press the plus key to speed up. So if I'm holding the plus key down, it makes my view go faster. Here's me not pressing the plus key. So anyway, those are some of the views that you can use. They have another option here for when you click this little down arrow. Some more options that you can select. So increase or decrease the walk speed. We saw that we could manually change that with the plus. And here's some more orient to view options similar to what we found over there. Undo, we can save this view on this drop down and open our options again, and here we'll close the wheel. Alrighty, so here on the second button down we have our zoom options. So we can zoom to fit and then click it, it will zoom to fit everything that's visible in the view. Zoom to region gives you a little magnifying glass, and if you're to left pick and then drag, hold and drag, it will give you a window. So if I wanted to zoom in right on just this window, I would pick a one corner, hold and drag, and it will, oops, you've got to be in the command first. So pick this, zoom to region, and it'll give you the little mouse, and then you can zoom in on your window. So here's some other options: zoom to region, zoom out ×2, zoom to fit, zoom alt to fit. So zoom alt to fit would zoom all of your views, see all the open views to that view. We'll click over here, left click into this view. We'll just zoom in. We'll zoom in over here. And we can click that down arrow again on this mouse and then zoom alt to fit. Zoomed it all out. And then the last one, fly. It enables us to kind of do a fly-through view of the model. Let's see here. So it enables you to walk through the model perspective view and look around. Hold down the right mouse button and drag to look around. And then we can use, we can use our, as you can see, I don't use this option much, but if you hover over, it'll tell us what we can do. Hold down the right mouse button and drag to look around. Keep moving the mouse off of it. Use the 4 arrow keys, W forward, WASD to move. And what else do we have here? Use page up and page up and or E up and Q down to move vertically. So I'll hold my right mouse button and we can start flying in here. So right now I'm holding down W to go forward. We can use Q to go down, E to go up, W to go forward, and we can adjust our view, and then S to go back, D to go right, and A to go left. So if you're a computer or video gamer, this might be a fun thing to do, kind of mess around with. The other thing we can use, I believe, to use these to create a walkthrough of our model once we've created it, so that we can fly around and kind of record a video to show a client. So those are the basic view, the basic options when you're in a view. I'm going to go back up here and take this off of perspective so that I'm back to my orthographic view. And that is how to easily navigate around your 3D model. So let me know if you have any questions about this or if something isn't working right, and then we can further discuss how to kind of navigate in these 3D views.